This week on TGC News, background checks are up, Savage bolts down the Valkyrie, and targets from the future? Kel-Tec offers some of the most interesting and innovative firearms in recent memory. Whether you're into bullpup rifles like the RDB or RFB, or maybe the KSG bullpup shotgun in short or gigantic configuration, or maybe you just want to plink around with some pistol caliber stuff like the Sub 2000 or PF9. They make something affordable for everyone. To learn more, check out keltecweapons.com. Welcome back to another episode of TGC News, the only gun news show that covers things you actually care about. My name is Jon Patton. Shout out to those of you that leave a comment every week and keep the conversation going. I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. Now, the news. Our first story this week is about a product that, quite honestly, doesn't exist yet. I'm covering it because I want to show you guys where things could be heading in the industry in terms of targets. We don't often think of targets as a place where innovation can happen. However, the first ever TGC #NotAReview was on a really neat system that now falls under the Action Target name. The one we're covering today is in that same direction. App, target, working together, showing hits, things of that nature. The company is called Cryus Targets, and to be honest, their product is complex but very interesting. It's comprised of several parts. There is a target stand that has a roll of paper stretched between the top and the bottom, as well as a rechargeable battery and a motor to move the paper. It also has a sort of sunshade all around it, which presumably is for the next component simply being called the main unit. This thing is a freaking like Power Ranger or Voltron put together. It has so much crap in it.
Ready to form Voltron! Form feet and legs!
3 hours later.
There is a computer, a forward-facing projector that projects a moving interactive image onto the target, a backwards-facing camera that is intended to detect the shooter's movement, a microphone and a speaker, and of course a computer to control it all. The basic concept here is that using a mobile app, you can set up your training session and the main unit projects an image onto the target screen that is moving and interactive. They claim that it can detect hits and auto-advance the target to keep it fresh. For lack of a better way to explain this, this is one of those like big room-size simulators that you see in like gun shops or over on John Lovell's channel, compressed down for use on a range. To me, even though this is complex in its setup and execution, it's a really cool concept. However, I do see some challenges here. First, they're going to attempt to crowdfund this thing, which to me is not the best solution here. Unknown companies with zero history asking for huge sums of money are just a giant banner telling you to not get involved. Beyond that, the pricing is flat out absurd. I'm not saying the product isn't valuable in any way, but the early bird special, the lowest of the low pricing, is $4,500. I asked the developer of the targets, Matej Krebel, who the target audience was for this system. And what he told me is that they're getting a lot of interest from military and law enforcement, but they think civilians will jump in on this too. He also said that he understands it's not cheap, but oftentimes with early adoption of new tech, you pay a higher price. While I agree with that, I just don't think there are enough folks in the gun community willing to be an early adopter. Perhaps this is the next best thing for shoot houses and big training facilities, but for the average shooter, this is not the next step, in my opinion. What do you guys think of systems like this? Is it too much for the average gun guy? Did I get it wrong? Price aside, is it something that you would want to shoot over something like a steel target? Sound off in the comments, and let's talk about it. Next up this week, Savage has released a new version of the 110 called the Prairie Hunter. This one is special for one reason only, and I'm going to make you wait to hear that. The basics are that it is a bolt-action rifle with a 22-inch barrel topped with a threaded muzzle. It comes with the standard accoutrements from Savage, like the AccuTrigger and AccuFit stock that has some adjustability and some nice texture built in. It has a detachable box mag that holds 4 rounds for a total of 5 in the gun, and a price tag of $759 MSRP. The thing that really matters, it's chambered in 224 Valkyrie. Now, for those of you that watch TGC all the time, you'll know that the Valkyrie has not performed well at all for us. So I'm very interested to see if this rifle has the ability to wrangle that cartridge and actually consistently print small groups. I doubt it, but hey, it's still a neat rifle overall. Also in the news this week, a few quick bits. TandemKross, a company best known for rimfire pistol accessories, has dropped a few new trinkets for the Ruger PC carbine. Included in the parts are a new flat-face trigger with nice texturing across the front, a muzzle brake that's a muzzle brake, and an extended mag release. We've been sort of tracking along with the chassis and things like that for the Ruger PC carbine, and I think it's pretty cool to see more companies jumping into this market. Mossberg is now offering a two-tone version of the MC1SC with a silver slide and black frame. The MSRP is $421, but I've already seen the gun on sale for much less. You know, I really thought we would see that gun doing more in the industry, kind of making more chatter, but it seems to have calmed down since the beginning of the year. Maybe we should try and get a hold of one for a review and see how good it is. And more good news from the FBI. The July background check numbers are in, and they're positive. Summertime is always a slow period for the gun industry, but it seems like we got a little bit of a bump in July. The total number of background checks were 2,030,661, which is an increase of over 195,000 from 2018. I have a feeling that August numbers might be up again with the threat of gun control in everyone's mind these days, but either way, more guns is always a good thing because an armed society is a polite society. Have you ever tried to put a gun together with this, or these, or maybe this, or maybe even this? Maybe it's time to consider getting some schooling from Sonoran Desert Institute. SDI offers courses from some of the best and brightest the gun industry has to offer. From gunsmithing to reloading to full-on associate's degrees in firearms technology, you can learn all of that from the comfort of your own home. To learn more, head over to sdi.edu. It's time for more Friendly Fire, the segment where I answer your questions from all over the interwebs. This time our questions are coming from the TGC Nation Facebook group, which just hit 5,000 members. Woot woot, yeah, 5,000, woo! Our first question is from Andrew Schomburg, and he said, "What's the single greatest investment a firearm owner can make?" My gut reaction to that is training. Learning how to manipulate your firearms efficiently and correctly is a big deal. A close second to that would be ammunition. Mario Valdez says, "How do you get your FUD relatives or friends into modern sporting rifles?" I think that's pretty simple. Figure out what they like to do with their normal guns, the stuff they normally shoot, and let them shoot an AR that does the exact same thing. The selections of ARs are endless, so you can kind of go in any direction. Deshaun Kretzer says, "What gun or accessory did the community at large crap on, but you loved?" Another easy one. That's High Point. I remember when I first got into guns, people were crapping on that brand nonstop. At a certain point, I got fed up with it, reached out to High Point for guns to test, and I fell in love with the quote-unquote, we know it's cheap, but it works kind of feel of that gun. It seems like the community has sort of come around on that lately, especially with the yeet cannon thing, but I'm a hipster and I was on that train years ago. Danny Boone says, "What is your favorite underrated, no longer in production gun?" Far and away on this one, the Ruger 44 carbine. It's basically a 10/22 chambered in 44 mag. Also, there was somebody that asked me what my favorite range bag was, and I couldn't find the question to show you guys, but right now, my favorite, I just got a hold of these and I'm digging them a lot, is the Vertex bags. We do have a code over there if you want to use it. It's TGC at vertex.com. It gets you 25% off because those range bags are legit some of my favorite ever. My friendly fire question to you guys this week: how do you feel about red flag laws and universal background checks? Yeah, I can feel you getting angry from here. I think I have an idea of what you're gonna say, but I want to see for sure what you guys are thinking on those topics specifically. Sound off in the comments. The comments down there, and let me know if you guys have any friendly fire questions you want to ask. Send it to me on theguncollective.com. And that is it for this week's show, guys. If you disliked it, hit that button. If you liked it, hit like, get subscribed, and consider supporting us via the links in the video description. Be sure to check out our second channel called TGC Surplus. We also have a bunch of other links down below. You guys know where they're at. As always, thank you all for watching. We'll see you soon. Yep, it's over, but don't worry, you can click on the video up top to watch last week's show, and the one below that is the one that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. Check them out and let me know what you think.